The Bridgesburn podcast is brought to you by Youth Bar, Halifax's home for science-driven aesthetics and care you can trust.
Their expert team delivers natural results with personalized care in a friendly, welcoming environment.
As a Bridgesburn podcast listener, you're invited to use the exclusive code Bridgesburn for special pricing on your first Botox or filler treatment or one of their other many services.
You can follow at Youth Bar HFX on Instagram to check them out and book your visit today.
This is Bridgesburned with Megan and Amy.
Megan, we did it.
We did it. I can't believe it.
I know, 12 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, we were thinking, oh, maybe we'll have like 5-6 episodes, and then it just kept going and going and going.
It's been an incredible few months just putting this all together, all the support, chatting to all the incredible women that we have. What's one thing you've learned about yourself in the last few months of doing this?
Oh, God. Oh, my God. What's one thing I've learned about myself during this? As much as I love to do things on my own, I really needed somebody to like push me to do the podcast, like you. I've been saying for years, I'm going to do podcasts. And like, I've kind of started things, but not like gone the distance. And having you be like, let's do it. I'm like, I kind of need to not rely on you, but like have somebody that's relying on me so I don't quit or fuck up or whatever. So I needed that.
Nice. I learned a lot from you as well because I'm a people pleaser. And I think, telling stories that shine negative lights on certain aspects is hard for me. And talking not only to you, but all the incredible women that we have, that your story is your story and you're valid in your feelings and sharing that as well. So thank you for helping me find my voice.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a people pleaser.
And I am. So we balance each other out pretty well.
Yeah, it works well.
I feel like a lot of people are like, okay, listening to this podcast, there seems like there's a lot of negative aspects in media, which is true.
Yeah.
But there's also like really amazing moments as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's why we stay.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, we said this before, like an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
How like there are so many bad things, but the little, like the really good things just make it worth it. So you just stay. We had so much fun. Like I remember doing Summer Rush and doing all those live concerts, going on stage and being in front of the crowd, and just some of the people you work with are just really amazing. And there's a lot of jobs you go to and you go home at night and you don't talk to the people after. You don't think about the people. You don't think about the job. Radio's not like that. They're your family. That's why probably it's hard to leave as well, because like people are literally your family.
It's true. I remember, I think it was like the first week I moved here to Halifax, and we were all working together. We're all young. We're in our 20s. And I'll never forget, we went to the Keith's Brewery to learn, I don't know, how to drink beer. I thought it was really why we were there. And then our boss, I'm going to start using names and giving some shout outs to people who deserve it. Yeah.
Okay.
Jason DeRosier. JD DeRosier. He got a limo for all of us.
Oh my God, I barely remember this.
Oh, I remember it because we were all in the limo. We were going to a club in the limo, and I remember Nicki Minaj's Moment for Life was playing, and I was like, I've made it. I've made it. And I remember we were all together and we were just having a great time. We were in a limo. Moment for Life is playing. And we were on our way to the Fleet Club.
Okay. That's what I was like. Yeah. Okay. Because I was host of the Fleet Club. I was hosting their live day or whatever it was called. And we went somewhere first. I couldn't remember where that was. But yeah, it was the brewery.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember being in the limo at all.
Oh, I do. Because I was just like, wow, I never did this before with people that I work with. This is amazing. And then like 3 months later, everybody got laid off. But,
yeah,
Moment for Life in that moment, I was just like, this is it.
Yeah. That was actually really fun. That was my most fun at that radio station. I really felt like I finally belonged with the people there, and I didn't feel like there were any announcers that were hating on me. I just felt like we were all friends.
Yeah.
We all really liked each other. I liked all the announcers at that point.
Same. I just thought we were all on the same level and everybody was having a great time. And I really appreciated a boss trying to bring the staff together because you're all working together. You're stuck together all the time in a studio. And so doing stuff outside together, I think that's team building.
He was the only boss I think I've ever had in my entire life in any job that I think really truly liked me. Like maybe other people like thought I was all right, but like I felt like he really liked me and kind of like saw me was like, Megan's great, Megan, like immediately. A lot of people, it takes time for them to warm up and they say the negative things before they really get to know me. I didn't feel like that with him.
Yeah.
I just felt like very accepted and very... Yeah, I was sad that I got laid off when he was the boss because that's when I was having the most fun there.
Here's a question for you. Now that we've talked to some women, and I mean, most of them have been laid off, including myself, and a lot of the reasons weren't valid. Do you feel a little better knowing that you were laid off for Ryan Seacrest for a syndicated show?
I've always felt better doing that. Because like, in that moment, we've talked about this, it feels very embarrassing. I was down walking on Gottingen Street crying my ass off. I was about to walk across the bridge. I didn't care. My whole body was like numb. And yeah, you feel stupid. What makes you really feel stupid is they had called in the fill-in girl to fill in for my midday show and I showed up for my midday shift. And so like that also makes you feel stupid because you're like, wait a second. She knew that she was filling in for my show and I didn't. Like, you just feel terrible. And then, yes, when I learned it was Ryan Seacrest, I don't know how I found that out. I was like, all right, well, it was not really about me per se. It was just a money thing.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know what it would have been. Or they thought that would drive in ratings because it's Ryan Seacrest. I don't know.
Ryan Seacrest isn't that great. He is the most generic of the generic. He is white bread.
Well, I wanted to be on his show, Amy, so...
Well, yes. I would still love to be on his show, but you kind of that always bothered me because I used to have to load Ryan Seacrest into.
Oh yeah, because you did mornings right before.
Well, when I worked at another station, he was the after. I don't know what position he was doing at that time, but you have to listen to him, and it always bothered me because he'd be like, "It's Ryan Seacrest and LK, what's happening?" Ugh. And that was it. And you're just like, really, you're making millions of dollars. And you have researchers and all of this stuff.
Yeah. I did feel less stupid or embarrassed after I heard that. Plus, I think right after that, I was like, that happened in August. And then about 2 months later, I moved to Vancouver.
Yeah.
Like it was, even though it felt like a lot happened in those 2 months and it felt like I didn't know what I was doing, it was only 2 months. And then I was out. Edwards out. I was out.
And you started your new Vancouver life.
Yeah.
All right. So we thought it would be fun if we asked each other some fun questions about our media days.
Yeah. Okay. I got a question.
Okay.
If you could go back, well, this is more like about our podcast, I guess. If you could go back to the very first day we started the podcast and whisper one brutally honest warning into your own ear or my ear, what would it be?
Get better audio and equipment and research it before you do it.
Yeah.
So behind the scenes, right? We're all new. We have all this equipment. We had rented it from Long and McQuaid and literally called Long McQuaid like, can you help us? Because it was not working. And our interview with Cindy Day was incredible. She was amazing, except our third mic wasn't hooked up properly.
Amy's mic wasn't working.
And so I spent like 12 hours trying to edit that to make it sound so much better. And like listening back to it, I can't because I'm like, the audio sounds like shit.
Yeah. I think when I think back, I just think simplicity is better, but you don't think about that going in because you're like, it's a podcast and it has to look like this and we have to do this because that's what I see with all the other podcasts. Well, those podcasts also started off a certain way and it's okay if ours looks maybe a little amateur right now. Audio is always very important though. I get pissed off when I hear someone with bad audio.
Yeah.
I don't want us to have that, but I think I would tell myself to chill the fuck out. Probably. That's what I do.
But you know what? It's living and learning. Okay, here's a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What was the best interview or the coolest interview you ever got to do?
In my life?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I really liked interviewing Adam Lambert because I had just seen him perform in Vancouver with Queen.
Ooh.
And I grew up listening to Queen. My dad's English and he's obsessed with Queen.
Can I just say, not only is he obsessed, every time I turn around in your house, there's some kind of Queen paraphernalia in here.
Queen or any kind of Union Jack flag or the English flag. Yes. Yeah. There's everything in this house.
Erin Davis thought it was a mega hat. She was like, what's that hat behind you? We're like, no.
It's England. Yeah, my dad is very patriotic. Wait, what was I saying?
Adam Lambert.
Right, Adam Lambert. I had seen him with my dad. So my dad first saw Queen perform in Vancouver in 1980. Wow. And he went with his girlfriend at the time, and it was Vancouver, whatever. And then in 2014, he came back and we went to see Queen, obviously without Freddie Mercury, but with Adam Lambert. And it was just a really great experience. I thought Adam Lambert was amazing. And he said, I love how he said this. He was like, listen, I get it. I'm going to adjust the elephant in the room. I'm not Freddie Mercury, but I'm going to do him proud and I'm going to do my best kind of thing. And it was just so good. So maybe, I don't know, maybe a year after that, I can't remember. I then went to the MMVAs and I was interviewing people on the red carpet, and which I think are now the iHeartRadio Awards.
I don't even know if they exist anymore.
Maybe they don't exist, which sucks because that was so fun. And I interviewed him and I said to him, and I know he didn't give a fuck, but I was like, I just want to tell you, I saw you performing with Queen. And I just thought you were so good and so amazing. He was like, great, thank you. I really appreciate that. He was good. He had good vibes.
Who is your worst interview?
And I say this only because he was really young, Justin Bieber. I actually would love to talk to Justin Bieber now because he's an adult. He was just a little boy and they called in the radio station. So it wasn't live or anything. He wasn't at the station in Halifax. He was in Toronto. And I was just asking him questions. And he was like, yeah. Like, and he would just answer it. Like, it's the worst when you're interviewing somebody and they answer you without anything else. It's just a one word answer kind of thing, and they don't try and feed off of you. It just was I found it a really difficult interview.
Yeah.
And again, he's a little boy. Like,
I know.
How old was he? 13, 14?
Yeah, probably like 15.
Maybe 15. And he probably was bored. He probably was sick of all the fucking interviews and all the stupid questions we were asking.
Yeah.
But it was the hardest interview. It wasn't an easy one to do.
Yeah.
Which always sucks. I love talking to people, so I want to banter back and forth, and his answers were just so, yeah, no, yeah, it's good,
a 15-year-old boy interview.
Yeah, I mean, what can we expect, really? But he was like the biggest thing at that time.
Yeah.
All
right.
But you?
Oh, for me?
Good and bad.
Bad? We'll go bad first. Avril Lavigne.
Oh, really?
She, this is when she was dating Brody Jenner.
Oh my God.
And she was in LA, and so the time difference was very early for her, and she was still in bed.
Oh my God.
And I guess it was like one of her first interviews of the day, so she didn't know what she could or couldn't say or talk about, and there was something, and she's like, I don't know if I could talk about this, but she like, when they don't want to be doing interviews and you have to, it's like pulling teeth.
It is.
And you're just like, okay.
They kind of forget that this is your job too.
Yeah.
And yeah, awkward.
But I'm sure, I mean, again, this was probably like 2012, 2013, so she was very young as well.
Mm-hmm.
I would say my first two are tied. Ryan Tedder of One Republic. I'm such a fan. I think he's such a great songwriter, and he was just like upbeat, happy, and he was really fun to talk to. And The Beaches.
Oh my God, my friends just went to see them the other day.
Oh, they're incredible. But they were opening for Avril Lavigne, and they came to our station, and they're just like the nicest people. And then when I did the Junos, when they were in Halifax, and we talked to them again, and just seeing them like come up, these amazing Canadian rocker chicks, and they're just so talented and so humble. And we were there when they won the Juno for best album, I guess, or best song, and it was Blame Brett, so it's about her ex, but her ex is in The Glorious Sons. And so they were nominated too, so I got to be like, not that you won, but you won. And she's like, I was thinking that too. So yeah, that was a really cool moment.
Interviewing bands is fun.
Yeah.
Like, I've interviewed, this band doesn't exist anymore, but I interviewed Girlicious.
Oh my God, Girlicious. Let's do some stupid shit. Yeah, I watched the show.
They had like a Making the Band sort of show.
Yeah.
Pussycat Dolls present Girlicious or some shit. And I loved interviewing them. They were so fun. And another group that was fun to interview was Mariana's Trench. Go figure.
Yeah.
They are though. They're good interviewees. They put on a show. They like to be out there and yeah, they're just different and weird. They know it's what makes a good interview and they're good at that.
Absolutely. Okay, here's another one. What is one of the coolest things you got to do in media?
Coolest things I've got to do in media? This sounds kind of lame, but like all the red carpet stuff, I love doing that. And I love being on the red carpet. I love doing the interviews. I remember actually this is not red carpet, but my first ever shift on radio ever. Entertainment Tonight Canada came and I was like shitting my pants because I did not know how to work a board. They were there with the camera in my face on a Saturday morning. Like, oh my God. That was probably one of my coolest ones because I kicked off my radio career, first shift ever, like that with Entertainment Tonight Canada there. That was so cool. Yeah, it was good. What about you?
Getting to do the Junos, like that was like red carpet, just being there and the hustle and bustle. We weren't even supposed to be on the red carpet. We came just like because we were in the back and just waiting for people to come through and win. And you asked them the questions, and then they just gave us wristbands, and I had like some equipment in my purse, so we found a little spot like. We squished in and now we were like, cool, we made it on the red carpet. That was really cool. And I would say another one was for Easter seals. I had to rappel off the tallest building in Halifax.
Hollis Street?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to do that too, and then I got laid off, so I never got to do it.
Oh.
Was it scary?
It was terrifying, like willingly crawling over the top of a building. But just to say, like, I did that, and every time I'm driving down and I'm like, yeah, I climbed down you.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't. It looks like fun when you're looking at pictures, but I can't actually imagine that.
My coworker at the time, there's these pictures because I went first and he was shitting himself so bad. He just didn't even he just let it slide down. So there's pictures of me like slowly going down and he's just making it way quicker before me.
Oh my God, that's so fun. I wish I could do that. Okay, I've got some questions.
Okay.
This one's not funny.
Okay, that's okay. Let's do a not funny.
What is one thing that you thought only you experienced as a woman in this industry until you realize every woman is quietly suffering through the exact same thing?
Well, that's a good one. Because there was a lot of things that I knew. I think for me, it was the time that I was having a really hard time with my manager, and he was pitting me and another woman against each other. And I went to go talk to another manager about it. And I was telling him everything and the problems a lot of us were having with the boss. And he was like, you girls just gossip. All you're doing is gossiping. This is just gossip. And he made me feel like that's all it was, that when we get together, all we're doing is gossiping. And I'm a huge gossip. And it wasn't until we talked to Tamara and she was telling me the same thing too. And I was like, okay, so, because yeah, as women, I feel like we do talk a lot about our feelings and how we're feeling or how we're treated. And then when you try to reflect them and you try to bring up examples of how, I don't know, Lindsay feels. Yeah. And then you bring it up and they're like, well, why didn't Lindsay come or why didn't this? And so to me, hearing that, I was like, I wasn't gossiping. I was just sharing our stories of the unfairness that's happening and the untreatment. And so, yeah, I would say that. What about for you?
I just wanted to piggyback on that, what you just said about them saying like, you guys are such gossips, blah, 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 blah. Literally, the men that work there are almost worse. There were men that I worked with in Vancouver, and I did not see this happen, but I heard about it. And they were all in the Jock Lounge getting ready for their sports show. And I don't know what two of them got into a fight. And one of them is like really big. He's like 6'2" and just like a big stocky guy with like a voice like this. And like just the biggest bully ever. And the other guy he was arguing with was probably like 5'10", 5'11", like a slimmer guy. And the bigger guy got up in the Jock Lounge and pushed the other guy.
What?
And I don't know if the guy like went on the ground or like what happened, but he got physical with him in the station. And he didn't get punished, fired, as far as I know. It was just kind of like pushed us to the side. And it's like, you're calling us emotional and yet you're throwing fucking fists in the Jock Lounge? Like, I've never seen that or done that.
Wow.
Yeah. It was pretty, like, they call us emotional. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Handle yourself.
Yeah.
Like, control your emotions. He's a little asshole.
Probably still has a job.
No, they all got fired. The whole station got fired because they shut it down. But I'm sure he has a job now. I used to call him out a lot because there's nothing I hate more than an alpha man like him who's like, I'm a man, like, I'm gonna fight, and I hate that. So I would call him out a lot to kind of bring him down a peg or two. And
See, you're really good at that. Where did you find your voice of like calling out nonsense? Were you always like that?
To an extent, but I think there are some situations where in the beginning of radio where I didn't, and there were certain people that treated me like shit, and then after, like, I hated how I felt, and I was like, I'm never letting people do this to me again. Like, whenever I feel like sort of a fear, like, oh, I can't say that, or I shouldn't say that, I'm like, why? What are they gonna do? What's gonna happen? What if I say how I feel right now? What is going to happen?
Do you think now, looking back, if you had that mentality then and you spoke up for yourself, do you think anything would have been different?
I don't know. I mean, I think I just would have felt better.
Yeah.
I would have put a bitch in her place probably. But I don't even think she would have gone in her place, the specific person I'm thinking about. I think she just would have fought back, and maybe it would have been worse. I don't know. But all I think about is how I felt after. And in certain situations, I try and think that in the situation, how will I feel after if I say something? How will I feel after if I don't say something?
Yeah.
And that goes through my mind very fast. And I usually think, for me, I'd rather just say something.
Yeah.
I'll feel better later. Even, it's not like I'm losing my shit on everybody, but sometimes things have to be said.
Yeah.
And there was someone that I worked with at the very beginning of my career, and shit should have been said to her. She treated me like shit.
Ugh.
Like shit. And we haven't talked about women treating me like shit. I've talked mostly about men.
Yeah.
But there is a terrible girl I worked with, and to this day, she still talks about me.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And sad.
Pathetic, really.
Let's do a fun one.
Okay.
Has an artist or celebrity ever slid into your DM, and what did you do with it?
No, they haven't. But I started dating Mike from Mariana's Trench after I interviewed him. But we just got along really well. I interviewed him and Matt, and we talked a lot, and then we exchanged phone numbers. And a few months later, I moved to Vancouver, and he lives in Vancouver. So we kind of connected a few months after I moved there. And then we dated for 3.5 years. So
He was awesome.
Mike's a really good guy. Mike, I still think Mike's a great guy. Like, he was really like he was like my best friend. Like, we were close like that. And the whole band, honestly, I really like all the guys. And I had a really good experience with all of them. They're good people.
I didn't have a good experience with Matt.
No, Matt, she wanted to bone Matt.
Yeah.
She didn't want to bone.
No, he left me at the club.
At the Toothy Moose.
He said he was going to the bathroom, and then I saw him walking out the door. I was like, what? This isn't the double date we were supposed to be on.
I think he had a girlfriend at that time.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but he must have had a girlfriend at that time. Mariana's Trench, to this day, I will still say this. Doesn't matter if I'm with Mike or not. They are one of the best bands. I was privileged to sit in the studio with them and watch Josh Ramsey create their albums. And it is the most like fascinating thing. He's so talented.
Yeah.
The shit I watched, like, there's one song, it's called Who Do You Love? And there's drums in it, all these drums that you hear in it. And I went into the studio, and he had 6 drum sets, like in a kind of like a circle, and he was recording the part kind of at the end, and it's like doom doom doom, and it was the 6 drum, like, he's not using like sounds from a computer, he's using the real life stuff. And it was just so fascinating to watch.
Yeah.
He's so talented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when talented, good people get ahead.
Yeah. Very talented. He reminds me, the way he composes some of his songs are very similar to how Queen does it.
Oh, wow.
If you listen to the album, like, it's so well done.
That's a compliment.
Yeah. I have not listened to their albums in a long time, but the ones that I was kind of around for, I can't even remember them, but they were very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. They're very good. They're a great band.
Yeah. So nobody ever slid into your DMs, but I'm surprised.
Not that I can remember. I really can't remember a guy from like a celebrity or anybody like that. No, I don't think so.
Oh.
What about you?
Yes.
Who?
Well, one's in jail.
Oh, cool.
So I think we know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. How long is he in jail for?
I think 5 years. We actually just Googled it, me and my husband.
Let me Google it right now just to see.
And we were talking about it because we were talking about, well, I'll just say it. It's Jacob Hogard.
Yeah.
And after I interviewed him, he was like, I was working at a station called Energy, and he's like, how much energy does Amy have? And gave me his phone number and hotel room.
Ew.
And, but I was just thinking about, you know, these men who do really stupid things and don't think of the ramification it's going to have on the rest of the band.
No, they don't give a fuck about anything but themselves.
And it's really sad when people have a brand and they're so self-centered or insecure. Like, a 30-year-old should not be hanging out with anybody younger than like 25. Like,
Yeah.
it just, there's so much ick factor around it. And especially when you're trying to build something and there's other people depending on you and you just fuck it up for everybody, that's the worst.
Well, that band, so it was like for Canadian bands, especially around that time, it was Headley and Mariana's Trench.
Yeah.
Very neck and neck, but Headley always got the one up on Mariana's Trench, always got the airplay. They were always on the radio.
Always.
There were times when Mariana's Trench came out with great songs and they wouldn't put it on the radio. They were very successful. They had a lot going for them. People would talk about them. And I think it literally got to his head. He really thought that nobody would find out, or I think people become untouchable because they have so many yes people around them. And most bands lie about their age and they're a lot older than what they say.
Yeah.
I remember when I met Mike and I was like, I think he told me he was 32. And then when I met him again in Vancouver, I was like, so you're 32, right? He was like, is that what I told you? I was like, yeah. How old are you really? He was like, I'm 37.
Oh.
But so they're all way older than that.
Yeah.
And they're all, Mariana's Trench, I would not say that about them. They are great. But I think people like Jacob are just dirty old men looking for these young girls that they can take advantage of it. And it's gross.
It is gross. But nothing ever came of that. But when stories started to come out, I was like, well, I'm definitely not surprised.
Not at all. I only saw him once, and it was literally, what's that called? Wee Day?
Yes.
So I was backstage with Mariana's Trench at Wee Day, and Jacob Hogard came in like a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, we did.
Talking like this. He was talking like this. He's going to Alabama or something like
what?
Things. Yeah, he was saying he's going on tour to somewhere in the States, and he was talking like that.
Oh my God.
Pulling up his pants. I was just like, you're obnoxious.
Yeah.
And now look at him. I just read it. In 2024, Hogard began serving a 5-year sentence. Good for him.
Good riddance.
Enjoy, Jake. What was your most chaotic, unfiltered, or should we even air this moment from the entire season?
I think me telling my story, because it was so fresh and so new, and I was like, well, what if I do want to get into radio, or what if people listen, or what if I'm blacklisted? Just caring what people think, that was very scary for me. Mm-hmm. But I'm glad I did. Yeah, not to make it about myself, but I think that's been the journey for me. I'm trying to think back to, I think too, when we would chat it with Natalie was very worried about telling her story and, just making sure that we don't get sued, or, we don't, well, it's not offending because that happened to her, but just making sure that, everything's in place and trying to bleep out anything that could be bad.
Yeah.
I think that was like probably the most stressful episode. What about you?
I think the Natalie episode, I think when she sat down and started talking, in my mind, I was like, this is exactly what I want to be talking about.
Yeah.
And I thought this is totally could understand from her why it would be so stressful, because it was like real ass shit that she was talking about, really difficult stuff to talk about. And I just think in that moment, I didn't think ever that we needed to not air it. I was just thinking like, we got to bleep that. We got to bleep that. We got to bleep that. I was thinking that a lot.
Yeah, that's
fair. I thought it was great.
Dream interviewer or dream person to interview.
Alive or dead?
Well, it might be hard. It's already hard enough to get them when they're alive, so I don't know how well we do.
I would love to interview. So hard. I would love to interview. There's a couple. I'm going to say a couple. I would love to interview Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
I feel like she is so, whether you like the Kardashians or not, she made them into a fucking empire. Yeah. And she was a regular flight attendant when she was a young adult. And like, she made this like wild. Yeah. I just would love to talk to her and just see like how she thinks and that sort of thing. I'd love to interview Oprah. Yeah, obviously, because like Oprah, we grew up watching Oprah, and I just think I still love how successful Oprah got. I would love to interview Meghan Markle because of all of this shit that has gone on with them. Like, do I love her? Not necessarily, but I think that what happened with them is crazy. And I would love to sit across from her and ask her about it. Just like, it would just be so fascinating, no matter what people think of her. And I'm sorry, I'm saying a dead one. If I was going to interview a dead person, it would be Princess Diana.
Oh my God, of course.
Because she was just my favorite person in the entire world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Sorry, that was a lot. That was 4.
No, I love that.
No men in there at all. No, I don't care.
No, that's okay.
It was just women.
I'm wondering which men. I don't know, because the person I think of is Amy Sherman Palladino. She's the creator of Gilmore Girls, my favorite show of all time. And she also did The Marvelous Miss Maisel. And I just think she is an incredible writer and producer, and everything that she does, the way that she takes these female characters and gives them such sass, and they're funny and they're witty and just everything. Like, that's what I grew up with, and I really resonated with it because I was like, oh my God, look, there's women who have something to say and they're snarky about it, and I just always love that. And I think Madonna.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah. Madonna would be on there.
Actually, I just thought of another one. This is really, I don't know if anyone will even know who this is. Judy Blume. Did you ever read Judy Blume?
Yes, I read Judy Blume.
Judy Blume, like, literally, like, I grew up with Judy Blume. She taught me about periods and boobs and stuff and, like, jerking off. That's what her books are about.
I didn't read that one.
You didn't? The one where the guy is always, he looks at the girl across the street and he has, like, bird binoculars, and his parents think he wants to watch birds.
Oh my God.
And that's when he's, figuring out his body.
That's hilarious.
But that's what she talked about. And I loved her books. I would read them over and over and over and over again. And I think she's still alive, but she's probably in her 90s, I would say.
Yeah.
And I don't know. She just taught me so much just from her books.
I love that.
Yeah, I love Judy Blume.
Who were some of, like, past and now, your mentors in media that you were like, oh, I want to kind of be like them?
You know what? When I first started, I loved Leah Miller from Much Music.
Yeah.
I really would love to interview her. I did send her a DM. Yeah. Haven't heard back. Don't even think she read it. But I know she really had a hard time in media, in Canadian media. And I would just love to talk to her about that. And I think I really looked up to her at that point. And Oprah too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always looked up to her.
Growing up in Montreal, Nat Lozon was a radio announcer. She was on Mix 96. She did mornings, and she was just so creative and incredible. I think she has a podcast too that she just started, but I always really admire her. I just kind of look at the women that I got to work with who really took me under their wing, like I
guess you said mentor.
Yeah.
And I didn't even think mentor. Yeah, okay.
Like Sandy Sharkey, Cody Jeffries, those women were incredible to me in Ottawa. Tina Sapp, who we got to interview as well. And then here, not really mentor, but like, support. I've had a lot of women support.
I don't think I've had any mentors at all.
No?
No. When I think back about who I started working with, like, no, nobody. Like, I literally cannot think. I remember there was one girl that, like, trained me a little bit, and I thought she was good on air, but, like, I wouldn't say she was a mentor. I don't really think I ever had a mentor, and I think I probably needed one. I wish I had one. There's amazing people that I looked up to, but no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
That's sad.
Worst interview and why?
The worst interview that I ever did?
Yeah.
I don't know. All I can think back is the Justin Bieber one.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly a person. It's just anyone you interview who does not, if you ask them a question, they're just like, yeah. And they don't expand.
Did anything like embarrassing happen to you, or like you were doing something, or you asked the wrong question and you just got stuck on it?
No.
Okay, because I'm thinking there was this one time, and it was around Christmas, so everybody was off. So I was doing 12 to 6. I was running contesting on another station too, like running back and forth between 2 stations. I was also doing the music and production. Like I had a day.
And getting paid only one salary.
Yes. And then Tyler Shaw came in to do like a Christmas special or something like that. Or I don't remember. And so I was interviewing him, and they were taking video and stuff. And then I looked back at it, and because I was running back and forth so much, my bra somehow had gone over my boob. So when I look at the interview, one tit is just like sagged down while the other one's holding, and you can just see it because I'm wearing a white shirt, so my whole boob was out, and I was just mortified. And they're like, "Are you gonna post this?" And I was like, "No." I was like, "Is there any way to like crop it or put like the station logo over my nipple?" And I was in a room with 5 guys, and not one of them told me that my boob was just like hanging out. Like you could see my bra like over my boob.
Oh my God. How did you not feel that?
I was just running around all day long. I didn't even notice. And I was a sports bra. And I guess at some point, or I don't know. But
funny.
Yeah, I still think about that and cringe.
No, I don't think I don't recall anything like that happening. Actually, I just thought of another good interview, Classified.
Oh, yeah.
He was from Halifax. I interviewed him when I was in Vancouver, though. And so, like, I tried to do, like, an East Coast spin on the interview, which I thought was great. But the radio station I worked for did not care. But I thought it was a great interview. You can still see it, I think, online.
Nice.
And Classified is great, obviously.
He's incredible.
He's East Coast.
Yeah.
He was great. What is the one bridge you wish you burned sooner in your career or life, and what held you back from doing it?
Megan's good at these questions.
ChatGPT is good at these questions.
Oh.
I told ChatGPT what I wanted, and it did its best.
I think we talked about it, I think, in our first episode when the men were talking about me on air, and then there was like a sexual harassment suit that I didn't file, and that they were like, "Oh, we have to make an example of you." And I was just so scared of it and to find my voice. And I think that was like ingrained in my mind, like, well, this is just how it works and you have to play.
Yeah.
I think I wish I had spoken up a little bit more about that. I wish I had spoken up a little bit more when I was shamed the day after the big mental health day about sharing too much of my struggles. Mm-hmm. I wish I had talked to somebody else about that. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't know if there's any bridges that I wish I had burned, because I don't want to burn any bridges. But I feel like now I've told a lot of the stories of the people, because there's so many great people in my life. But it's sad that the last few managers that I've had have been my struggle. And no matter how much I was complaining about it or telling people, it was always like over their shoulder. But then hindsight, people are realizing like I'm not crazy. I think that's the best validation. I had a bad co-host and everybody's like, can't be that bad. And then people were like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Or, bad managers. And then you see them get let go, or what you were saying is validated. So I think for me, just being validated in the end. Mm-hmm. What about you?
I was thinking about this. I think it's gone back to the girl I was talking about just a few minutes ago. Yeah. I will always remember this girl. So when I was working as a midday show host for this radio station, I went and competed in Miss World Canada. It was a crazy weekend. Like, I had gotten off of work from the radio station. Then I went and filmed a scene in a TV movie with Tom Selleck.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Filmed a scene in the movie, which still gives me residuals every few months. It's like about $4 every month, every few months, maybe every year. And then I went and competed in Miss World Canada. Like, I woke up the next morning and started the weekend at my Miss World Canada competition. I won Miss Nova Scotia World. My Miss Nova Scotia World. I won Miss Nova Scotia World.
Yeah, you did.
There was some stuff with that. Maybe we'll talk about that another time, but whatever. I won Miss Nova Scotia World, and I go into the station on Monday, and of course they're going to do something about it. So I talk with the morning show, and most of the morning show is very supportive of me and like, Megan, you won. Oh my God, like, tell us, da 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 da. And then when they left the room, the guys all left the room, including like the PD, the girl that was sitting there, she goes, oh, the things I could tell them about you.
Oh.
Almost like threatening me, like, you won this and I could fuck this up for you. And I didn't say anything. Because, again, she was constant with this kind of thing. She was such a fucking bitch. And I would have burned that bridge down to the ground right now. But I think everyone at the station tiptoed around her because they were scared that she'd lose her shit all the time. But can you imagine saying that to somebody? How jealous are you?
Yeah.
Like, oh, the things that, what could you tell them? What did I do?
Yeah.
Smoke weed a couple times? Like, I haven't done anything.
Yeah. That's too bad.
Yeah.
I'm really learning, just like, I feel like all the women have such struggles, and just talking to all these women, and even just to you, or like, I have so many great friends in media, and just talking about it all. And it's such a support, and a beautiful support. So when you have one person that just wants to tear all the other people down to make themselves feel better,
it sucks.
It does.
It ruins your experience sometimes. Like, I remember with that person, like, I didn't like being around them, and I tried to hang out with them outside of it to just be like, we could hang out with each other. Like, it doesn't have to be like this. And there was such hatred coming from that person towards me. There was nothing I could have ever done. To this day, I've heard talking to people that I know, still talking shit about me.
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know anything about your life. Like, why do you care?
Yeah.
So once I heard that was still happening into our 30s, I blocked her on everything. I blocked her on all my social media.
That's fair.
Like, you're a psycho. You're weird. Why would you care what I'm doing anymore? But it sucked because, like, when I could talk to her, she was great to talk to.
Yeah.
But there was this hatred towards me that there's nothing I could do.
Yeah.
And it sucked. It could have been better.
Yeah.
Fuck her. If listeners heard our off-mic conversations, what percentage of them would be shocked and what percentage would be like, oh yeah, that tracks?
100% tracks.
Yeah.
Who I am is who I am. And I think that was a big problem was I talk to people minus less fucks and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing I say on air or off air, people would be like, wow.
I think we are pretty genuine, authentic. We say the same things we say off air. Yeah. I mean, minus a couple of things that may be personal, but like, this is exactly how we talk.
Yeah.
In real life.
I think so too. So I think if you ever listen to me on the radio and you're listening to this, you're just like, it's a little more unfiltered, really.
Yeah. We're a bit more like, we enunciate our words a little bit more, but like, other than that, I try my best to have my same voice. I can't fucking stand a radio voice. And I know this kind of voice. I hate that.
Those days are gone.
I hate it. Oh my God, I hate it.
Yeah, but I think that's what media needs these days is true, authentic people because you're investing your time in somebody and their lives and to find out that it's all fake or gross or the person isn't who they are, you're just kind of like, no.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah. Speaking of that, did you ever meet somebody you really admired and then they were just like a disappointment when they say like never meet your heroes?
No, not really, like initially, but I remember interviewing Mia Martina here.
Yeah.
She's from New Brunswick, I think.
Yes.
I thought she was so amazing here. I thought she was so nice. I had a great interview with her. I just really liked her. And then when I was in Toronto for the MMVAs, I was like backstage and she was just like, her and her friend were just like staring me down like bitchy. And I was like, I know you don't remember me, that I interviewed you. I really liked you then, and now you just seem like a bitch.
Oh.
It was disappointed.
Yeah.
I was like, I thought you were really cool.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
I was really disappointed when I met Pauly D.
Oh, why?
Oh, because nobody loved Jersey Shore more than me. Like, basically, it was, you're rewatching it right now.
Not anymore, but
Is he finished?
No, I think my subscription ended to whatever that was. I forget what it was, but I sometimes watch this. I always watch their stuff like on TikTok.
Oh, yeah.
Like little videos.
I still watch Family Vacation, but like Pauly was like my everything. Like that was what my husband was going to be. And then I met him and I was like, I'm such a big fan of yours. And first of all, he had more makeup on than I did. Yeah. And he was like, cool. And I was like, no, where's like cabs I hear? Like nothing.
Where was it?
So he played at the Forum Down with Webster.
I remember Down.
Yeah. And he just, I don't know what I was expecting for him to look at me and take me in the coat rack. I don't know, but it did not go like that.
But it just didn't feel nice.
No, it didn't. Just to have like when people feel forced to meet and greet and you're just like, oh, you know,
like you're only popular because of the people that watch the show.
Yeah.
That's so unfortunate. I would love to meet like Snooki.
I know. Snooki would be amazing to have on. And I just thought of another person too, and I think we both can agree with this. Lisa Vanderpump.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Ariana Madix. I'd love to interview her because of that shit. Lala.
Well, just like talking about, you know, how women are treated differently and everything. I look at a lot of those reality shows that we watch. Like, let's take a Vanderpump Rules, for instance, where you see how many fights, physical fights between these men.
Yeah.
And then you see how the women are treated if they get too drunk or they get too loud. Like Katie Maloney, like she was told to shut up by her own husband by like
he poured a beer on her head.
Yeah, like you look at that and just seeing the ramifications that they got online, like people saying like go kill yourself for this because you're sharing your life and the hate that they get. I think that would be a really interesting episode if we ever got to do something like that.
Tom Sandoval got a lot of hate. when the whole thing happened with him.
Yeah.
With Scandival.
Yeah. But again, going back, like, obviously not as bad as, Jacob Hogard and all of that too, but you had a brand and you didn't give a fuck. You didn't give a fuck about anything but yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And to me, that's always icking you. People like that.
I saw actually Sandoval on, because they're doing BravoCon right now.
Yep.
So I'm seeing updates on my Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. And someone was like, would you ever do like the Valley or something? He's like, yeah, actually, I'd really like to do the Valley. What do you guys think? And everyone was like, no.
They got booed.
Like, I don't know. Like, you don't fit that brand. You don't have children. You're not a married man. Like, yeah, he's such a fame whore.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one more question.
Okay.
So season 1, we did a lot of media. We've covered a lot of people. Not to say that we won't do more media people, but we want to talk to, small business owners that are women, just women in different spots in their lives and careers. What is one career you're interested to hear about what it's like to be a woman?
The military,
yeah,
is a huge one for me because I have family members who are in the military, men and women, and I know there's a lot of shit that still happens with women in it. And since it's the military, no one wants to speak out about it. That's exactly why I want them to speak out on it, because I'm like, let's fucking hear this shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're taught to be very, I don't know, like professional and don't talk, like even more than our industry.
Oh, for sure.
The way they have to present themselves is, they're trained very hardcore on that. And I'd love to see someone break that facade talk to us. Even if we have to hide you, we would love to talk to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my big one. What about you?
I think the military as well. I think military is such a good one because I can only imagine. And tired of being like, ha ha. It's like, but what was it behind the ha-has?
Yeah. Well, when you listen to like Crime Junkie, for example, it's about murder. And they have a little bit of a laugh, similar to us, but like, it's a serious topic.
Yeah.
So they're serious. And what we're talking about is serious. So if you don't like the serious, don't listen to it.
And I think, too, I like that, I feel like a lot of our career has been like happy-go-lucky, got to be happy-go-lucky. But there's a lot of stuff that happens and just hearing the story and giving people the space to tell their stories. And I think that's one of the things I love most is because I didn't feel like I had a space or a voice. And so to give people a space and a voice, and a safe space, hopefully, to me, that's everything.
When I left radio, I was just like, all I want to do is talk about real shit. I was so sick of like talking about like Ariana Grande's outfit or like, oh, haha, I love this new song by whoever, and really I hate it.
Oh my God.
Like, I was just so sick of the fake.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's just so nice to be able to be genuine and if something's funny, it's funny. If it's not, it's not. And we don't have to fake it anymore. It just felt for so long like it was always like fake.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I just felt like I remember interviewing Matt Babel.
Yeah.
For him, he was a Much Music VJ.
Yeah.
And I was like talking to him about who was going to be at the MMVAs, and he was like, Avril Lavigne's going to be there. And I was like, oh yeah, we love her new song, Girlfriend. And I fucking hated that song. And Matt was like, yeah, you know what? I don't really like it. It's like, and he said the truth. And I was like, fuck, I wish I could say that.
Yeah.
I would get in trouble if I said that.
Oh my God, you were never allowed to put the music down. But there's so many times I'd hear a song that was like new music and it came out and you're like,
this is
if this was your first, no, I was like, if this was your first single ever, you wouldn't be where you are because this song is shit.
Yeah.
And this is so many times you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
How lucky are we to be blessed?
Oh.
Yeah.
I specifically remember it with that song. After a while, when you're always taught to just, suck it up and accept it or whatever, it's just kind of like, I don't want to anymore.
Well, I've had a really good first season with you.
Yeah, me too.
I've learned so much,
grown
so much.
You've learned a lot about what it takes to put a podcast together. I worked on some podcasts a long time ago and I have zero recollection of any of it. So it was a good learning experience and fun.
And thank you to everybody who has supported us as we sit here with our mics that we were able to buy and an interface. And it's been incredible. All the response, like, it's been really nice, not just from the women, from supportive men as well, from people who want to come on. It's just been lovely.
I think one thing I learned too during this process is how important it is to support people like that are small and growing. So we appreciate the people who did support our small growing podcast when we only have 200 followers. So when we have 200,000, I will remember the people that supported us then, because it really means so much.
Absolutely. And it was funny too when we were talking to Erin Davis, lovely, love her. And she was like, "Oh, good, you guys trust each other. That's good." And it just got me thinking. I'm like, "Oh my God, I couldn't imagine working with somebody that I don't trust." And that's one thing I'll end it here. Like when you do a morning show, there has to be trust between you. And I just want to give like the biggest shout outs to Jeff Brown and Blair Hanadazit. They were my co-hosts, Sully, and they were just these men who I felt safe with, and that they had my back, and that when managers wouldn't listen to me, they would step up for me. Mm-hmm. And I always felt like, that kind of support. Not to say that I needed a man to speak up for me, but I needed a man to speak up for me.
You need support, man or woman. It's nice to have that on, like, if you're going to work together.
Yeah.
For example, if we're working together now, if we were talking to somebody about, I don't know, anything to do with our podcast, I know that I wouldn't go through with it without making sure you're good with everything.
Yeah.
And I would assume you would do the same for me. And it's a good trust thing. I also think we both would have each other's back. So if one of us was a little bit off on something, even if the other one was fully supportive, I think we would sit there and be like, okay, well, how can we fix this so we're both comfortable?
Absolutely. And I think that's so important in any kind of relationship, to feel the love, the support, and that's what makes it genuine.
Yeah, exactly.
High five to season 2. Here we come. In 2026, season 2.
Yay. We're so excited.
We are excited.